Hello, algebra. All right, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about multiplying complex numbers. And the nice thing about multiplying complex numbers is multiplying complex numbers a lot like multiplying binomials, which we've done some of so far. All right, so let's start off with multiplying a complex number by a real number. A complex number by a real number. So let's say that I had 4 times 7 minus 2i. I want to treat this complex number as if it were a binomial, which means what I'm going to do is distribute here and here. And so that's going to give me 4 times 7 will give me 28. And 4 times negative 2i will give me negative 8i. And that would be our final answer. Even if I wrote it in the other direction, let's say I did 7 minus 2i times 4. Multiplication is commutative, so it doesn't matter what order I do it in. This would still give me 28 minus 8i. All right, but what happens when we multiply complex numbers together? What happens when we multiply two complex numbers? And the answer is a lot like when we do binomials. So let's suppose I had the numbers 4 plus 3i and 2 minus 5i. So you could do this by foiling. You could also do it in a multiplication table. I'll show you both. So first I'm going to show you by FOIL. So I would do 4 times 2 and get 8. 4 times negative 5i and get negative 20i. 3i times 2 and get positive 6i. Then I have 3i times negative 5i. So here is where you want to pay close attention. Because the 3 times the negative 5 is going to give me negative 15. But the I times the I gives me I squared. And that's going to be important when we simplify in this next step. So I have some like terms. Negative 20i and 6i are like terms, so I'm going to take care of those first. So then I have 8 minus 14i minus 15i squared. Now remember, we have a definition for what I squared is here. Let's use green. I squared is negative 1. So when we simplify this number here, what we get is 8 minus 14i minus 15 times negative 1. So now I have a negative times a negative, which will give me positive. 8 minus 14i plus 15. And now I have the like terms of 8 and 15 that I can combine. So I get 23 minus 14i. And that would be my final answer. You can also do this in the multiplication table, same way I showed you how to multiply binomials. I like to do this because it's easier to combine my like terms and keep track of what's up. So let's say I have 4 and 3i, that was 4 plus 3i, and 2 minus 5i, and we're multiplying. So 2 times 4 gives me 8, 2 times 3i gives me 6i. Negative 5i times 4 gives me negative 20i. And negative 5i times 3i gives me negative 15i squared. And then these are my like terms. And then what happens when I take these out of the multiplication table is I just remember that this bottom square down here is always I times I. So I go ahead and mentally simplify as I'm going. So when I take this out of the multiplication table, I go, all right, that's 8 minus 14i plus 15. And that's me converting this mentally. So then I get